There was no need to show those 4 giant tits squirting out green milk. Oh my god. Did you forget your balls when you woke up this morning?
I think I have, mate. I don't know what the hell that was. What is going on? My name is Gareth Eastwood, aka the motherfucking locomotive. And once again, by some sort of miracle, sat in the open...
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle is what it is.
Hey.
All right.
There's a Christmas high five right there.
Sat in the original Open All Power Studios alongside my brother in arms, my nerdy cohorts, the SMG, the General, Mr. Sam Eastwood.
Hello, power people. It's another early start for us.
It's really early, isn't it? Tremendously early. But Sam, you've got the day off today, haven't you?
I have got the day off. I'm glad we managed to get this recorded, actually, because I didn't think we were going to be able to manage this until after Christmas, but I'm glad we've managed to do it beforehand. So.
Yeah, like I was like desperately thinking of like a really easy solo show that I could do just for an episode for this week. So I was going to do like my top 10 movies of 2017, which I think I might do as a YouTube video actually.
Okay, cool.
That might be quite cool because apart from Jumanji, which, have you said, Rotten Tomatoes 83% at the moment. It's you know what, the reviews that I've been watching, I haven't been watching spoiler reviews, but just a few people talking about it on YouTube saying that it does what it says on the tin. It's a movie with The Rock, Jack Black, and Kevin Hart, and Karen Gillan as a bit of eye candy. It's fun CGI action, you know. So if you don't go in with too many expectations, but apart from that, which now because of time and stuff, I'll probably see it in the new year. But I've seen all the films that I wanted to see this year, you know.
The thing is with Jumanji is the more trailers I see of it, the more I'm like, I really want to see this film. Yeah. Because when we were at the cinema on Sunday, there was a trailer for it then, and I was like, oh man, I genuinely want to come and see this movie now.
Definitely, man. Have you seen the trailers for this film called Rampage with The Rock?
Yes.
Oh, what a crock of shit.
What is that? Oh, God. Yeah.
The funny thing is it's directed by it's made by the same people who did San Andreas.
Yeah.
And all of these shots of The Rock in a helicopter just look like unused footage from San Andreas.
Oh, man.
Well, Power People, myself and Sam have, the only reason we're up at this time in the morning podcasting together is purely because we want to talk all things Star Wars The Last Jedi. So we're not going to be bothering with any nerdy news this week. There's been all kinds of shit that's been going on. Disney have bought Fox.
$56.4 billion on this stupid like that.
Absolutely bonks my money. So there's definitely a discussion for that, but I'm sure that can come in the later weeks. We're going to go full-on spoiler review into Star Wars The Last Jedi. But before we go into that, real quick, just speaking of films that I wanted to see this year, I hope you wouldn't mind, Sam, just humouring me for 5 minutes or so whilst I just speak about The Disaster Artist.
Go for it, yeah, absolutely.
Which, as soon as I saw the trailers, was easily one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Basically, for anybody who doesn't know about this film, effectively, this is based on a book that was written by a guy called Greg Sestero. Now, I'll explain a bit about him in a moment, but you may or may not be aware of a classic now cult movie called The Room.
Yes.
Written by, directed, everything by this guy called Tommy Wiseau. And it's basically regarded as the Citizen Kane of bad movies. Yeah. It's dismal, it's awful, it was funded entirely by himself. An estimated $6 million of his own money was spent creating this movie. And it's abysmal, but since its release in 2003, it's become a cult classic. Yeah. So one of the guys who stars in it is a guy called Greg Sestero, who plays the character of Mark. And he wrote this book a few years ago called The Disaster Artist, the making of the greatest, worst movie of all time. So James Franco, off of eating cheesecake in Spider-Man 3 fame, basically read the book and became intrigued by the mythos of The Room. So he basically wanted to create a movie based on this story. So in the movie, James Franco plays Tommy Wiseau. His brother, Dave Franco, plays Greg Sestero, who plays Mark. And then there's all manner of other cameos in there, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to stay relatively spoiler-free because I don't know how many people have had a chance to see this yet. Effectively, this story is great in the sense that it's almost from the perspective of Greg Sestero, because Tommy Wiseau just appears. Like, he's got an Eastern European accent, but he claims he's from New Orleans. Like, he true American. He true American. You know, he's clearly not in any way, shape, or form. He can't act to save his life, but he thinks that he's, you know, a scholar of Shakespeare. He genuinely thinks that he's the biz, but to begin with, Greg is very kind of like, oh my god, who is this? Who is this guy? This guy is amazing. You know, he's fearless. He's incredible. He's so charismatic. But then as time goes on, you realise that maybe he's not all he's cracked up to be. It's hilarious, this movie. One of the funniest films I've seen this year. It's so funny. It almost kind of like paints Tommy Wiseau in quite a bad light, in the sense that on the set of making his film, he was a nightmare. He treated people awfully. But a lot of it kind of revolves around his ignorance to just the world, really. Like, genuinely, The Room is like watching... it's like some aliens came down from Earth and created what they think is a movie. And what's really interesting is... I went to see this movie with Chloe, my girlfriend, and afterwards, like, she'd never seen The Room, and I said to her, like, look, I'm really interested in this movie. If you want to come see it with me, fine. If you don't, I'll go on my own. Honestly, I won't be offended. But she's like, no, I'll come with you, you know. So we watched the film, and afterwards, we went for some lunch, and we're just talking back and forth, like, what about this? What about this? And even now, we're still talking about it. Last night, we were sending each other audio clips of us doing impressions of Tommy Wiseau. Like, the impact that it has on you is absolutely incredible. But one thing that I kind of picked up on, especially with The Room, is that a lot of the dialogue reminds me so much of, you know, when you're learning a foreign language at school, and you don't learn conversation, you learn, hello, my name is Gareth. It is a sunny day today. Could you tell me the directions to the library? It's like that, you know, it's so surreal in that sense. But this movie kind of had to tread a very fine line, because it could easily make fun of and kind of belittle Tommy Wiseau for being this kind of schmuck who was sort of deluded in thinking they could make a movie. But really what it does is it celebrates how it's now become a cult phenomenon. Like, at the end, it shows clips of in real life, people coming together to see this movie, and how people like kind of celebrate it, how it brings people together, and also the overriding message of, if you have a dream, then fucking go for it. You know what I mean? He literally had a dream. He wanted to be a movie star. No one would hire him, so he was like, you know what, bollocks to it. I'll make my own movie. You know, it may be terrible, but he did it. You know, there's a lot of people out there who can't say that I've got a movie with my name to it. And it's really incredible in that way. Really, like I say, it's kind of a celebration. Yes, it kind of has to tell the truth in the sense that he was a bit of an arsehole in some regards. But overall, absolutely terrific movie. Easily one of my top 5 films of the year.
Awesome. So I have seen a few clips of it. I've seen like clips of it online and stuff like that, because I know Seth Rogen's in it, isn't it?
Yeah, he is,
I saw a few other bits and clips from it as well, so I probably will see it at some point. I think I'm going to have to watch the whole Room first, because I've only, like I said, I've only ever watched clips of it. I've only seen snippets of it, so I'm going to have to watch the entire thing and then watch the Disaster Artist afterwards.
Definitely.
Does he make a cameo in it, old Tommy?
He doesn't make a cameo as such in the actual film, but like I said, they show these clips at the end. And also as well, one really great thing at the end that they do is they show a side-by-side of the original Room versus the scenes they created with James Franco and Dave Franco. And honestly, it's to the letter. It's absolutely fantastic.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like now, because basically the show, it gets shown in cinemas all around the world. Tommy Wiseau actually makes personal appearances at some. That's how he's making his money now. And they show it at a cinema in London called the King Charles Cinema. And like I said to Chloe, I kind of said whimsically, it's like, oh, so we're going to London then to watch it. She's like, yeah, let's go. Oh my god, this will be amazing.
Oh dear, that's brilliant. No, I'll have to. We'll have to check it out at some point. I couldn't believe because I'd heard of it, but I never sort of looked into it or anything like that. I couldn't believe that it was released in 2003, because it looks like it's been released in the mid-80s. That's how bad it looks. It looks like it's filmed like a soap opera. If you look at like Australian soap operas from the late 80s, early 90s, and the film quality and stuff, it looks like that, like the costume design, the set design, everything.
Well, the funny thing is he didn't want to hire the camera equipment. He bought the camera equipment. Most people hire it and give it back to the studio. He actually bought it. And he couldn't decide whether he wanted to film on high definition or 34mm or whatever. 35mm. So he did both. he had his crew create this frame that mounted 2 cameras on, and so some is in HD, some is in 35mm. Some scenes are out of focus. But because of the fact that basically he said, like, you know, I want to buy your camera equipment. So these guys at this studio said, look, I said, we'll give you a discount if you rent our studio space that we have here. Now, the sets that they had were designed for like TV commercials, so that's why the living room looks so dinky. That's why things are so small and compact, because it's areas that are, like I say, used for commercials. So it's absolutely bonkers. It truly is.
Oh god,
I'd love to see a version where someone like dubs over like canned laughter and people going like woo, you know, that kind of thing. Because it is, you know, like that kind of classic sort of sitcom thing where with the studio on is where the handsome man walks into the room, hi guys, and everybody goes woo, and then he pauses for a minute. What's going on? It's like that. It's fucking bonkers. But anyway, I will still do a video of my top 10 movies, so I might talk about it a little bit more then, because I can guarantee that it's gonna be high up there as far as 2017 is concerned.
Awesome, excellent. Just before we carry on, today is it the 19th today?
Yeah, man.
19th of December. We've got to say a very happy birthday to Mr. Montego Bradley.
Absolutely,
our fellow nerd podcast mafia member,
inductee,
whatever. So happy birthday, my man. I hope you are well.
Happy birthday, Montego, indeed. You know, last year, me and Montego recorded almost like the Open Our Powers holiday special, where we just spoke about just the year, and it was a really great candid chat. I might hit him up and see if he'd be up for something like that again.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think, what do you say we get onto our main event, Sam? Okay, as mentioned before, we're going to be talking all things Star Wars The Last Jedi. So, full spoilers from the offset. If you haven't seen the movie, listen at your own discretion. We're going to go in on this film. I think that what will benefit for this movie, because it's very much broken down into chapters, isn't it? So I think let's go through this movie kind of section by section.
I was going to say, because you couldn't do it character by character because they're everywhere. So chapter by chapter would be a lot better. So,
absolutely, So Sam, to begin with, just kind of give me just your overall feelings about The Last Jedi.
Okay, so we went to see this movie on Sunday, and I kind of came out of it, and Samantha, the credits started rolling, and Samantha turned to me and said, "What did you think?" And I just genuinely went, "I don't know. I don't know what I think right now." So we left, and I was just thinking about it on the way home, and we had a good talk about it. We literally just sat talking at each other for like a good half hour last night, and I've just come to the conclusion that I don't like this movie at all. And it's, for me, it was too slow paced. It was too long. It was too slow paced. There was very little character development in it. The shocks and sort of the things that happened in it were a bit like, oh, right, okay, that's a bit weird. Why does that happen, kind of thing? And it wouldn't end. It just wouldn't end. Every time you think it's going to finish, there's a little bit more. And then you think it's going to finish, and there's a little bit more. And I was just like, oh my god, this is so annoying. Overall, I didn't enjoy this. I would put this in sort of prequel level of Star Wars entertainment. I would probably watch Revenge of the Sith over The Last Jedi if I had the option.
That's a bold statement, Sam. We're going to put that quote on the back of the DVD. Sam Eastwood, I'd rather watch Revenge of the Sith. You know what, Sam? What you said there about you came out of the cinema and you were like, you don't know, right? I went with Chloe on Friday night. We came out of the cinema, we walk into the camera, we're like, what do you think? And we're like, well, it was... It was like we didn't know what to say. Sunday, I went to see it with Mum. I obviously knew what to expect. Came out, it's like, Mum, what do you think? Well, I don't really know. And it's having that. It's remarkable. It's having that effect on all of us. Even like you and Samantha as well.
Yeah,
I'll agree with you in the fact that it was too long.
Yeah,
it was far too choppy.
Yes,
like just bit to bit to bit, jumping from scene to scene to scene. A lot of unnecessary scenes. We'll get onto that a little bit further on. And like I say, it's almost hard to kind of put into words just what I think about this film, but I was just left so deflated. And obviously The Force Awakens was incredible in terms of the nostalgia, and I don't blame Rian Johnson for wanting to push things and, you know, take Star Wars into a new realm, but I sort of think...
I can appreciate that, but do it a bit fucking quicker.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
on.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of just felt like... This whole film, for me, the only thing that I really sort of held on to or was really kind of passionate about and invested in was Rey and Kylo.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren and Rey. That's literally all I was invested in terms of their relationship. Everybody else, I genuinely... I think that was it. I didn't
You didn't care for the character.
anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was the thing. You didn't really care about it. But even so, you're saying about Kylo Ren and Rey... There's so much wasted stuff, like, oh, what we're watching now, we're watching Rey fall asleep on a rock. All right, this is interesting, you know. Oh, Kylo Ren's just a whiny little bitch. I'm sorry, if he's meant to be the next Darth Vader, I'm sorry, but he's going about it the wrong way, because he's just a whiny little bitch. Yeah. He just complains about it. Okay, yeah, Skywalkers complain a lot. But, he was just,
And this is it, like, the whole crux of this film is like, oh, we've got 18 hours of fuel left.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so since when do fucking Republic ships use fuel?
Yeah.
This is an issue that I have. It's like, oh, yeah, we've got a gas station in about 3 miles, and there's a Denny's and a Wimpy's if you want to grab some food, General Organa. You know what I mean?
You do see, you do see the X-Wings get fueled up and stuff like that in A New Hope, and presumably that's what's happening. They are getting fueled up. But it's never something that's like an issue or anything like that. You know, it's something you never come across. They never show. You can look at schematics and stuff like that. You never see stuff saying, "Oh, this is the fuel tank," or "This is this," or "This is whatever," you know, and stuff like that. And this is one of right. Okay, I'm just gonna go straight into this because this is one of my biggest cruxes of this movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're escaping the planet, aren't they?
Yeah, sure.
And the Dreadnought drops out of space, right? And they launch all those X-Wing fighters, plus the TIE fighters, plus the TIE silencer that Kylo Ren is flying. And they attack the cruiser, don't they? Almost blow most of them out of the sky, and they almost blow this one out of the sky, but they manage to escape. To escape. Then they catch up with it, and they've got about 5, Star Destroyers, plus General Snoke's giant fucking boomerang thing that's chasing them going... And the reason they can't catch up is because the cruiser's lighter and the Star Destroyers are heavier, so they can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, hang on a minute. No, that doesn't happen. They're in space. There's no air resistance, so it doesn't matter how slow they are. They've got all these ships with a huge battalion of TIE fighters on board. Launch the TIE fighters, blow them to shit, come back to your ships and fly off. There you go, done with.
Yeah.
The resistance is done. Job done. That's it. Well done, lads.
I think that's what irritates. I mean, this movie mirrored Empire Strikes Back in the same sense that Force Awakens mirrored A New Hope.
Yeah.
Now, that was thrilling because the chase was the Millennium Falcon in the asteroid field, hiding in the asteroid field, attaching itself to the Star Destroyer, sneaking away with the garbage, you know, all these different things which made this chase, you believe that this dinky little ship could outrun the Empire. It was about Han Solo being smart and being, you know, like an expert in running away, essentially, which is what he's done all his life. Yeah. Whereas this was just open space and just this slow, sluggish chase. Yeah. It was just so unrealistic. Yeah. And General Hux did make a point at one point saying, all of this, and we can't do it. Like, oh yes, well they're a bit quicker than us. Yeah. And I think the other annoying thing is as well, they said that they've got 18 hours of fuel left or whatever, so they're a bit longer. Let's say that this movie in real time consisted of about 24 hours, for example. This movie was 2.5 hours long, and all we got was 18 hours plus of a few bits and bobs happening. They had the potential to expand this universe in so many different directions and create so much lore and so much allure that that's what I was hoping for. Right, so let's start with this film. So they're evacuating the planet.
The planet.
Yeah. And the first thing that we get is Poe Dameron, that's it, Fucking hell, it's too early. 9:05. Do
you want to do that bit again?
No, I'm keeping it in for make it more real, make it more human. So Poe Dameron confronts them, and he's in his X-Wing, and he's kind of toying with General Hux and that kind of thing. Instantly, we get quite a bit of light-hearted humour. How did you feel about this kind of bantery between Hux and Poe Dameron?
I quite liked it because it kind of went along with the banter that he has with Kylo Ren in the first one. He's like, "Do I talk? Do you talk? I can't hear you with a mask on," kind of thing. And I did quite like that because you knew exactly what he was doing. He was stalling for time until his X-Wing thing had been... I didn't really see the point of that. I think was he meant to be getting through the shields? I didn't really see...
I think it was just like speed in order to avoid like the guns or something like that.
Yeah, I did quite like that. The thing that got me about this, and it was something that's even referenced in the fucking Family Guy Star Wars, is when all the cruisers are escaping, all the ships are escaping, and Leia says, "We've got infinite ways to fly into space, yet we are going to fly directly towards the enemy." And that's what they do. They fly out of the planet and directly towards the Star Destroyers. And it's just like, oh my days. We get that little bit of banter between
Poe and General
Hux, yeah. And I love Domhnall Gleeson in these movies. Great, yeah. I think he's the only person that really holds these movies together. Thought he was absolutely brilliant in it. And then, you know, they take out the guns, absolutely fine, and they've got those huge, massive laser cannons on the bottom. So they don't use those to destroy the ships that are escaping. They use it to destroy the base that is now empty because the ships have escaped.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the first order for you. And then we get the bombing run. And I've seen the picture of these bombers from the pictures from the Lego sets and stuff like that. Like, oh man, these are going to be awesome. These, like, huge sort of swooping ships. And then we get another really, really slow, drawn-out crawl toward... And I'm just like, why? What? And I'm like, why have you not come out to light speed quicker?
Yeah.
Why have you not come out to light speed closer to the ship? So you know you're going to be a sitting target if you're just like slowly crawling towards your target there. And I was just like, this is absolutely horrendous.
I mean, I loved the visual of Poe swooping in and out of the dreadnought.
Oh, that was very cool. That was very cool.
The way the bombers were getting destroyed. But this is confusing as well because Leia was like, "Oh, Commander Dameron, you come back." So he's like, "Oh no, we can do it." She's the overriding officer in this. Why is she not on the radio to the bombers saying, "No, I order you to come back"?
Yeah.
They're like, why? Honestly, it's like all little things like that. And this is going to sound awful, and I'm sorry to speak ill of the dead, but Carrie Fisher, she's bad in this film, isn't she?
She's awful. She's so bad.
You can so tell that they've done 30 takes of her trying to say something, and they've like gone... Yeah, that'll do. Yeah. Oh God, it sounds awful, but
no, it's true. It's true. She's terrible.
Absolutely awful. So then this leads to our first introduction of Snoke.
Yes. And I thought I loved that. When his hologram head appears.
Yeah.
When his hologram head appears and he slams Hux into the ground, I was like, oh, that's amazing. That's so cool. This guy's a badass, you know. No, he's just a big potato.
And in some sort of gold dressing gown or something like that.
It's Hugh Hefner of deep space.
Yeah, exactly, I did like the guards that he had.
Oh, they were cool, yeah. See, I love that set.
Yeah, beautiful,
that set piece with all the red. There was nothing on the walls. There was no sort of pipes or greebling or anything like that. It was just red all the way. That was awesome. I loved that. Yeah.
I quite like the fact that he was said to Kylo Ren as well. He's like, take that stupid thing off.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because it backs up our feelings about how Kylo Ren... He wants this mask because he wants to be Darth Vader so badly.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I think Supreme Leader Snoke was almost... He was so terrifying in Force Awakens. There's this huge hologram, and then he was just like this piddly old man. I mean, I liked it when he did the bit of Force lightning, which kind of knocked back Kylo Ren. And there was one I liked about the guards as well around him is when they drew the weapons, when they disarmed, it was so elegant, wasn't it?
Very samurai-esque.
Yeah, like really kind of almost like that. You know, they have to stand straight. They have to arm themselves in one way, disarm in another. It was so smooth. That was really a nice touch.
Yeah. That was very cool.
So then what happens then is somehow they realise they can track them in hyperspace.
Yeah, that never gets explained.
No.
That never gets explained. I thought it was going to be, we've got a secret droid on the ship. Oh, we've got the black BB-8, BB-7 or whatever it is. I thought it was going to be something to do with that. He's like, oh, he's the one that's got the tracker inside him. He can track through deep space. But don't you think that's because obviously J.J. Abrams produced this movie. Don't you think it's very reminiscent of the Star Trek Into Darkness, where the Enterprise is running away?
Oh, yeah!
The Enterprise is running away from the USS Vengeance, which is a Dreadnought class ship.
That's a weird thing. Yeah,
and they're like, oh, they won't be able to catch us we're at warp. They won't be able to catch us, kind of thing. Oh yes, they will. It was exactly the same.
It was really similar.
Yeah, very similar to that.
Good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they can track us through. They can track us through hyperdrive or through light speed, whatever. So if we make another jump, they're just going to turn up 30 seconds later or whatever. That kind of got it explained a little bit, kind of, didn't it?
And then we get this bombing run with the TIE fighters and Kylo Ren in his TIE Interceptor or whatever it is.
TIE Silencer.
TIE Silencer, which is a badass ship.
That was a cool ship, yeah.
Sort of swooping down. Now, we saw this moment in the trailer, didn't we, where Kylo Ren's about to fire upon the bridge of the ship.
Yeah.
And he's unsure as whether he wants to do it, and he doesn't do it, does he?
No, he
He's
doesn't do it, yeah.
emphasising that sort of conflict, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And but it does get blown up by the other TIE fighters, and Leia and Admiral Akbar get sucked out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what happens next, Sam.
Oh, do we have to?
We really have to.
Okay, so Leia is there, floating in space. Thing is, though, I didn't go, oh, I wasn't shocked in the least. I just carried on watching it. I was like, oh, well, there we go. That's that. So she got blown out into space. She's there all twinkly because she's obviously freezing to death or whatever. And then her hand starts to move and her eyes open up a bit. And then, fuck's sake, she does her impression of Cara L. Flips over, puts her arm out, and Supergirl's all the way back to the airlock door. Because, the Force can make you fly.
And bring you back to life in the vacuum of space, apparently.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Awful.
Absolutely horrendous. Blow up the bridge, fair enough. Don't completely destroy it, but blow up the bridge so she's knocked unconscious and someone has to go and rescue her.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe get her to use the Force to lift a piece of gantry or a piece of metal off her leg or something like that. We've never seen Leia use the Force before. We know she's Force sensitive.
Yeah.
But we've never seen her use the Force before. So, it could blow her back into the wall, something falls on top of her, on a leg or something like that. She uses the Force to lift it up, or she uses the Force to open the door or something like that. Just last ounce of strength, use the Force, open the door, crawls through it, she's unconscious for the rest of the movie. Thank God girl can't act. So that would have made more sense, but she's there flying through space all glittery, and I'm just like, what the hell is this?
Like, when she was floating through space, I thought that was almost... I thought we were going to get everybody looking out the window, just like, oh my God, like looking at... And I thought that was going to be it. That was going to how we said goodbye to Carrie Fisher in this movie. Yeah. Then she starts flying. I'm not joking. Me and Chloe, we just looked at each other with this look as if to say, what the fuck is happening right now? It took me so far out of the movie. Like, we talk about things taking you out of the movie. Yeah. I was so far out of the movie, I was in the car park and on my way home at this point. Figuratively in my mind. Yeah. Seriously, it was bad. And then, she comes back and they put her in, I don't know, probably give her some back to tank or whatever, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Finn's alright.
Finn's woken up at this point, so we get Finn jumping out of his back to tank suit and falling on the floor. Another bit of hilarity there. I did quite like Happy Beeps. I thought that was quite a funny... when Poe's talking to BB-8 when they first go on their first attack run, and he's going, come on, buddy, happy beeps. I thought that was quite funny, actually.
Oh, I tell you one thing I did like, actually, just before they jumped into hyperspace, where Poe flies his X-Wing into the hangar, and it's like he pulls on the handbrake and it just stops and tilts up. That was a really rad shot.
That was cool, that was really cool. Okay, so then we get introduced, so Finn wakes up. He realises what's going on. He doesn't know where Rey is. He wants to get her as far away from this as possible. So he's going to jump in one of the escape pods.
Oh, can we just rewind a little bit? Because the first time when he's wandering around with his back to tank, like leaking everywhere, he says to Poe, "Where's Rey?" Yeah. That's when we go to Skellig Michael. Oh, and we go to the island, don't we?
Yeah. So we're on the island at this point, aren't we? I've forgotten about that bit. Yeah. So we're on the island. Luke takes his lightsaber and just throws it behind him, doesn't he?
Yeah. quite a comical moment.
Quite a comical
humorous,
moment. Humorous, yeah. Quite a comical moment, and it's like, yeah, okay, they're fair enough. Luke doesn't want to be a Jedi anymore. He's done with that. He's past it, and he's come. Basically, he explains that he's come to the island to die.
Yeah.
Basically, and he's like, "Well, you're Luke Skywalker. You know, we need you." And he's like, "Well, the world doesn't need Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker." And he's basically telling. He basically explains it as if the world, the galaxy, has built up Luke Skywalker as this great Jedi Knight, this legend, this Jedi Master who can do no wrong. But in his mind, he's just let everybody down.
Yeah.
And he's like, there is Luke Skywalker, and then there's Luke Skywalker. I am Luke Skywalker. I am not the person that you think I am.
Absolutely, yeah. And there was some interesting dialogue as well, I think, in the way that he was talking, in the sense that he refers to a lightsaber as a laser sword. He refers to the Jedis as a religion. It's a very... He's talking almost like the ignorant passerby who doesn't understand what the Jedi are. And it's almost like he's lost that faith himself. Like he's like... What it's ridiculous. What we wander around with laser swords. We you know, it is like to a degree. It almost is like a religion. You believe in something which can't be seen. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't mind this very snarling, pessimistic kind of view, but I think the thing that troubled me is the fact that when we get Han Solo in The Force Awakens, he returns. He's downbeat. He's always kind of. You know, he's taking risks. He's really pessimistic and quite sort of sarcastic.
Yeah.
He's a scoundrel. He's going back to being a smuggler. We saw the Han Solo that we remember from the original trilogy, and I think that's what kind of filled me with so much love of the character in the new one, because it reminded me of the original trilogy. Whereas Luke was just so far flung from what he used to be, and you know, he's been on this island for a long time on his own, and he feels responsible for the reason why Kylo Ren is you know, marching about with the First Order. How did you kind of feel just about about Luke in like the way Mark Hamill played this character?
I liked it. Yeah, I thought he'd become like the Yoda character in the sense that I'm not training her. No. Sorry, no, you know, I'm not going to do it, kind of thing. And he'd become so bitter and so twisted and so just so disappointed in himself and what he was told to train this new Jedi Order. You know, Yoda says to him, "Pass on what you have learned," and he does, and he fails completely. And he has brought about another Darth Vader, essentially another Empire. And he's basically sort of gone, right, well, you know, I can't deal with this. I'm one man, I can't deal with this. I'm going.
Yeah.
Sod it, you know, let the galaxy sort itself out.
Exactly.
And I appreciated it. I thought he did really well to play the sort of like that sort of character, the person that had given up on everything. He was just like, right, sod this, I'm just going to go away and die, basically. I'm going to live my life out on this island with my porgs, and I'm just going to be happy
and
there.
my bantha milk. Yeah.
Fuck me. There was no need to show those 4 giant tits squirting out green milk. Oh my god. Right, we know he's been on this island for long. We know he's been surviving. That was so unnecessary and so gross. And I was just like, ugh, what is that? It was
so disgusting.
So disgusting. And then it gets all in his beard and he's just like, oh, no.
I mean, there were some beautiful shots. I loved, like, there was like some sort of sea creature, its tail.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah,
the X-wing under the water, that was really beautiful as well. Like some stunning shots. I mean, Skelly Michael is just beautiful, beautiful island. You know what got me? The bit where he goes fishing. Oh yeah. The bit where he goes fishing and he pole vaults across, which is fine. And then he's got his 40-foot fishing rod, and he clearly spears that fish, because I thought he was going to use that and then walk around another part of the island. That's what I thought. He goes fishing. But then he's got to haul up that fucking stick all the way to where he is to get his fish. and then the fish slides off the hook. Oh, for fuck's sake, gotta get it again. I did like the monks on the, you know, those little monk characters who were like the caretakers. There was that to be fair was proper funny, where Rey chops the rock and he just cleans out that wheelbarrow. That did generally make me laugh out loud.
See, I didn't like them at all.
Did you know?
No, I thought they were completely like, who are these guys? Oh, they're the caretakers. They've looked after the island since the Jedi first built the temples and stuff like that. And like, how many creatures can one tiny little island have? It was ridiculous. You know what never got explained about the island was the death hole.
Oh yeah, the giant seaweed arsehole.
Yeah. It was just like, what is this? And obviously it was meant to be sort of the dark side of the island, where the, you know, like in Empire, where
the cave.
But Yoda creates that. Yoda creates that cave. That dark side isn't just there. He sort of creates that as a fantasy in Luke's head, and you know, he's confronting himself, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Rey is confronting herself, and she sees that mirror kind of thing. And I was a bit like, what is this? And then she starts narrating over the top of it as if she's talking to Luke, and Luke has no reaction to it.
Oh, no, see, what this bit here, she's narrating, but then you find out that she's telling the story to Kylo Ren.
Oh, yeah, she is, not Luke, yeah, she's talking to Kylo.
I want to talk about that in a minute. Sorry, I don't mean to keep touching your knee. I don't know
why do you keep doing that?
Really kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah. So, this bit with, like, where she falls inside the arsehole, like, I mean... Surely, I mean, like, if this is an issue, then, like, you know, get some cement and fill it in, you know what I mean? But you know, fill it up with some green milk. But to me, it just felt like someone had a bit of a CGI boner, and they fancied doing some really... Because, like, she's, like, clicks her finger, and then it's like... It catches up with all these multiple versions of herself. Again, took me straight out the film, because, again, in Empire... The whole point of Luke going in the cave, it's like, yes, confronting himself is making the point that he strikes down Darth Vader and he sees himself. It's like, this is what I could become if I'm tempted by the dark side. It's showing a premonition of the Emperor wanting Luke to be his new apprentice. It's all of these beats, but it just had nothing to do with anything.
No.
And when she wanted to see her parents and she saw herself, I thought, ooh, is this some really gnarly kind of thing that we're going to find out about who her parents are? Now, we'll get onto that a bit later.
The thing is, though, there was two figures walking. We said, who are my parents? And you saw those two figures. I thought that Mirror of Erised from Harry Potter. She's going to see Harry Potter's parents right now. You see two figures, and then it becomes one, and then it becomes her. And I'm like, what? What is this? You know, oh God, I don't know.
Yeah, very, very bizarre. But let's talk about this whole kind of thing where we find out later on that Snoke, using the Force, has created this bond between Rey and Kylo. And one thing I really liked is the way the sound engineering worked in this. In that she'd be walking along and you'd hear the rain and the waves and wildlife, and then it'd be like this sort of whoom noise and a mini bass drop almost. Then it'd go quiet. And that's when the link was created and they were talking to each other. Did you like this back and forth?
I really liked it, and I liked the fact that you never saw them actually.
Yeah.
You saw Rey talking, and it was from her point of view, and then you saw Kylo talking, but it was if they could see each other, but we couldn't see what they were seeing, if you know what I mean. I really liked that. I loved that whole dynamic. I thought it was awesome. And then when they did reach out and touch... there's a part where Luke comes in and goes, "What is this?" And he must see. At that point, he must see Kylo, and obviously it severs the connection. But I did like the whole back and forth between them. I thought it was really good.
I think that's what I was really invested in, and I'm going to kind of jump ahead a little bit here. But this is one thing that left me quite flat, because we had them talking to each other, and they were talking to each other almost as if they were compassionate with each other in a sense. But one thing that I really didn't like about this film was just the obscure, misplaced humour. So there's the bit where they have the connection and Kylo Ren hasn't got a shirt on and he's fucking shaved, shiny pecs are out, and she says like, "Oh, could you put like a cloak on or something?" Weird humour like that. They really didn't like that at all. And this, of course, led on to them having this connection later on in the film, but then the next thing you know, they're enemies again. I swear to God, if Rey had just flown away in Kylo's ship or something like that with Kylo, and they disappeared into the horizon.
Yeah.
Almost kind of the way in X-Men 2 when Pyro goes away with Magneto. Yeah. I would have loved that.
Yeah.
And to think that in the next movie, we're dealing with Kylo Ren, who is, you know, outright evil but still conflicted, and Rey almost like, I know she's being like a double agent or something, that would have left me like, fuck me, what's going to happen in the next film? What's going to happen with Rey? And again, mad issue with this film. It ended, and I'm just like, not really that excited about the next film. You know, whatever they can do, whatever they want, not really that bothered.
No, no, I completely agree with you. Going back to what you're saying about Rey's parents, obviously we are jumping ahead a little bit here, but Kylo is explaining to Rey, you know, he's going, you know who your parents were. You come from nothing. Your parents were nothing. You know, they were drunks. They sold you for
drink money,
and they're buried in a pauper's grave on Jakku. And she's like, yes, I know, I've always known, kind of thing. I was like, no, that can't be true. Surely to God that can't be true. He's just saying that to try and sort of sway her. But he's got to the point now where I don't care who her parents are. Like in the first one, there was this whole mystery of, oh my God, you know, she's force sensitive. Who are her parents? Who could they be? Blah, blah, blah. But then at the very end, we see that little boy, and he reaches out for the broom, and it comes towards him, and he's kind of like, well, he's force sensitive now. I don't care who his parents are. He's like, oh, who's the mystery? Who are the mystery parents? Does he have Skywalker parents? Does he have Solo parents? You know, and it gets to the point now where you're just like, don't care.
See, this is the thing.
Not really that bothered anymore.
I think that for me, the message they were trying to put across was, you don't need to be related to Luke Skywalker. Anybody can be a Jedi, and they made that point in the training. Now, this was a funny moment, I've got to admit, where it illustrated Rey's ignorance to the whole thing, where he's like, now reach out, and she just reaches a hand out, and he's like tickling her hand with that leaf. I can feel it. Oh my God, you must be so force sensitive.
Yeah,
you know,
and he slaps her.
That was an amusing moment to be fair. However, and I think the message is kind of trying to put across is the Force is within everybody. It's everywhere. You don't have to have the Skywalker blood in order to be a great Jedi. You know, you can be anybody basically.
Yeah. I suppose so. Yeah.
But on the other hand, if that message had been put across by Luke to Rey with some really inspiring, dramatic, you know, music, it's like, you don't need to be related to me. You don't need to be related to whoever, you know, Yoda or whatever. It said like, you know, the Force is in everybody. It could have been this beautiful, inspiring moment. It's like, your parents don't matter. But the way that Kylo rendered it was like, yeah, your parents were nobody.
Yeah.
And for me, it got a little bit too meta and self-aware at that point. And it was almost like Rian Johnson was like sort of thinking like, you know what? Fuck all these fan theories. It was like slapping all the fan theories in the face, basically. And Kylo Ren almost turned into... He may as well have turned to the camera and said, yeah, the parents are nobody. Fuck all your fan theories. They were nobody.
Yeah.
And now, yes, there is chance that... Because J.J. Abrams is directing Episode 9. He could undo all that and say Kylo Ren was bullshitting. Actually, you're related to Mace Windu or whatever. Kit Fisto, maybe, you know. Excuse me. But yeah, it just wasn't, for me, it wasn't handled in a good way, in any way, shape or form. So let's kind of wrap up all the things that we get on Skellig Michael. I should explain, if anybody wonders why we're calling it Skellig Michael, that's the name of the actual island in Ireland, basically. Oh, did you know the Porgs were based on puffins?
Yes, I did, yeah.
We got quite an amusing moment as well, didn't we, with Chewbacca and he's eating one and then the ransacking the Millennium Falcon. That was nice humour, I thought. Oh, here's another. This was quite a nice moment when Luke goes on to the Millennium Falcon and he's looking out and he sits down and then R2 perks up. Now, here's an issue. Thing is, this, I'm being a dick now about this film because I didn't like it so much. In A New Hope, Luke can only understand R2 through C-3PO. In Empire, you can only understand R2 because of the little translator inside his X-Wing. Clearly... whilst he was on this island, in amidst the tree of the ancient Jedi text, was also an English to Astrodroid translation book, because suddenly he can understand him. Now, that was a nice moment. I knew exactly what was coming. He showed, R2 showed the projection of the of Princess Leia.
That was cool.
And he's like, oh, that was a cheap shot, you know. Which... a nice nostalgic moment. And that was what kind of said to him, he said to Rey, I'm going to give you 3 lessons.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, I'm going to tell you why the Jedi need to end kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they have like this, they have a few kind of back and forth moments. What do you think was there was like the mosaic almost.
The mosaic. Cool. It was like half of it was like a white face, and then half of it was a dark face.
Right.
So I think it was meant to be like the balance between light and darkness. Sure. Yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to be anyway.
And I liked the way that when Rey was reaching out, and as it were, and she was understanding that the Force is life. It's decay that gives birth to new light, and Luke was kind of saying like the Force doesn't belong to the Jedi. The Force is something that the Jedi can embrace and can almost wield in a way. I thought that was quite a nice touch. I think Rogue One for me gave the best explanation of what the Force is in terms of the blind Chinese dude. In the sense that it's like it floats in amidst us, and the way that they described the darkness, kind of gravitating towards people who have malice. I thought that was quite a nice touch. I think as time goes on, the Force is being described, being interpreted in much better ways, but they played quite fast and loose with what the Force can do in this film. So the Princess Leia can apparently use it to create a vacuum in space and bring us and float back to a ship. Luke could use it to communicate with Leia. Luke could create an astral projection of himself. We found out that Snoke created a bond between Kylo Ren and Rey. I feel like they're almost doing this sort of thing where in the next movie, the Force is literally going to be, it's going to be just be able to do anything.
Yeah, you just get a bunch of Jedi flying through space like Green Lanterns. Just go, the Force!
Oh my god, the Rebellion have even got rings as well.
Rebellion rings, get yours free in a box of Frosties.
And only 2 of us have special rings. Woo!
Oh, Marge, kids, I miss my club.
You are a member of a very exclusive club.
The Black Panthers?
No, the Family Simpson, which has just 5 members. And only 2 of those members have special rings.
Yeah!
I meant our wedding rings!
So, I know that you want to now talk about this arc that involves Finn and Rose. So talk about this, Sam. Get into this.
Right, okay. So we find out that we speak to Maz Kanata for some fucking reason.
Oh, that was pointless.
That was utterly pointless. And we find out that the only way that they're tracking the ships is through this link between the 2 ships, and they got to shut it down on the Star Destroyer, on the lead ship. So we meet Rose, and Rose explains to Finn that they're going to have to shut this down. Maz Kanata explains to him the only way of shutting it down is by using a
code breaker.
A code breaker, the master code breaker that can only be found in a casino. That's the only place he'll be. She knows that. That's the only place he'll be, this code breaker. And for some reason, we get to speak to her for all of 5 minutes. But did you notice in the end credits, she got credited before Domhnall Gleeson?
What?
I was like, what the hell is this? Anyway, so get to speak to her. Then apparently this is the only way to get onto the ship. Now, they have to make a slit in the shield so they could fly through or whatever it was. And I'm thinking to myself, well, hang on a second. They didn't need to do that half an hour before then. They didn't need to make a slit in the shield for the TIE fighters to fly through the cruisers' shields or anything like that.
Or for Poe to get his ship through,
Yeah, they didn't need to do any of that. Anyway, so I thought Rose was going to be the master code breaker, and she was like, oh, I've spent all my life behind pipes and all this kind of stuff. I thought she was going to be the one that was going to be the code breaker kind of thing. But no, they have to fly off and find this master code breaker in this casino city, which sort of takes you away from the main story. Now, I appreciate in Star Wars, there is always this sort of story between, so for example, Empire Strikes Back, you've got Han and Leia escaping from the Empire in the asteroid field, and then it cuts to Luke and Yoda. So you kind of get that mix between really fast-paced and really slow-paced. But in this instance, you had Luke and Rey, you had Poe and Leia, you had Kylo Ren and Hux, and then you had Finn and Rose all happening at the same time. It was just like bang, 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 backwards and forwards. So they get to this casino planet thing. They manage to find the master hacker, but he doesn't want anything to do. They don't even speak to him.
They don't even speak to him, no.
Before they get arrested because they've landed their shuttle on a beach. Right? God, the bit with the horses, I didn't understand that bit in the least. Like the horse racing kind of thing.
I thought it was going to be a fucking pod race.
Yeah, so did I.
I thought it was going to be a pod race.
I thought it was going to be a pod race. And then Rose explains that, you know, this planet is only built on war kind of thing. You know,
people can get rich through war.
People get rich through war. And you're like, all right, okay, then fair enough. There's a nice bit of a metaphor in there. That's good. Then they get arrested. Then we meet
Benicio del Stutter.
Benicio del Stutter. That's who I thought you were being at the beginning. Poe Dameron. Benicio del Stutter, yeah. And he's like, oh, well, you know, I can help you out there. And he manages to break them out of jail and they escape. Now, I'm cutting this down a lot. And they escape on the ridiculous horse things after they've met all those kids.
And there's this really bizarre. I wonder if like Ryan Johnson is like an environmentalist or like some sort of like, I don't know, a tree hugger or something like that. Because there was this bizarre sort of, animals being treated wrongly, or let's send these animals back into the wildlife, which I'm sure will probably be rounded up anytime soon.
Well, yeah, they ran. And they ran about... you could still see the city from the pasture that were there, as if all those people are going, oh, shit, oh, man, can't reach them now. Oh, shit, you know, oh, what we're going to do now kind of thing. You know, they just get rounded up again. And then Benicio turns up with his spaceship and rescues them. I'm like, okay.
With BB-8 as well,
With BB-8. I'm like, what on earth is going on here? And that whole sequence, to me, was completely pointless.
Absolutely irrelevant, yeah.
DJ was a completely wasted character. He didn't need to be there at all. Talking of wasted characters, let's go on to Captain Phasma in a bit.
Oh my god,
fuck me. Anyway, so he was a completely wasted character. So he's like, oh, you know, I can do it for you. I can help you. In any other Star Wars movie, if there is a door to be opened, they use a droid.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
They use a droid to open they put the little thing in, they spin it around, BB-8 does it, R2-D2 does it, whoever else does it.
That's just the rule,
That's just the standard rule, yeah. If there's a door to be opened, then, you know, a droid does it. But, oh no, not in this case. We need El Stuttero to open the door for us. And I'm like...
And he says to them as well. He's like, oh yeah, you know, I'll do it, but I'll need a deposit.
Yeah.
So he goes, oh, is that Haitian smelt or something like that? The necklace that Rose has. So she just gives it to him, but then all he needs to use it for is a conductor. So he gives it back. So he thinks, oh, maybe he's actually a decent guy, but then he betrays them.
Yeah.
So that was just, they were toying back and forth with what his character was.
They didn't go in and. He's like, ha ha ha, I've betrayed you, I'm going to get more money now. He's like, well, we got caught, so I betrayed you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It was weird.
Absolutely irrelevant in every way, shape or form. Now, the way that they could have potentially done it. Now, Rose, originally, she thinks that Finn's deserting.
Yeah.
And I did kind of like her admiration for him, and when he says, like, may the force be with you, and she's like, wow.
Yeah,
there was I understand why they put those characters together, because she cleans pipes. On the Star Destroyer, Finn worked in maintenance, so there was a nice kind of like the underdog, the unsuspecting heroes coming together. That's fine. I can appreciate that to a degree. Now, again, Rose says to Finn, "Oh, I'm taking you to the brig." And obviously he interjects. Now, so we establish there's a brig on this ship. Now, why couldn't it have Benicio del Toro been on the brig of the rebellion ship? He was a prisoner on there, and they seek him out because the reason why he's there is because he tried to sneak onto the ship to steal something or whatever, or something like that. And they're like thinking like to themselves, oh, I know who might be able to help us. They strike a bargain with him, and then they literally somehow fly from the ship to the other one. That would have cut out literally 40 minutes of unnecessary characters. Completely irrelevant set pieces. No need for Maz Kanata. If they want to include it there as some sort of cameo, whatever. But to me, that would have made a lot more sense.
Now,
in the meantime, because Leia's out of action, they bring in Admiral Holdo, is it?
Admiral Holdo, played by Lauren Dern with her blue rinse.
Yeah,
purple rinse.
Purple rinse, exactly. And this bugged me as well, because Poe is being like the hot shot, and he's like, oh, so what are we going to do? What are we going to do? She has a plan in mind, but because she won't tell him, it leads to him mutinying.
Yeah.
And there are so many opportunities for her to say, listen, just come this way.
Yeah.
This is what the plan is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, albeit it doesn't create for excellent cinema.
Yeah.
But again, at least 20 minutes of irrelevance could have been cut out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it, there's so many things that build up in this movie that don't pay off.
Yeah.
So we get Finn and Rose are about to blow up the lightspeed tracker. They get caught. Finn is about to mutiny and make the jump to lightspeed. Nothing leads out. Nothing comes from it. Sorry, did I say Finn?
Yeah.
Sorry, Poe, yeah. A bit later on, Finn is about to kamikaze into the battering ram cannon. He gets knocked out of the way. So it's like, build up. Deflation.
Yeah.
You think that Luke has been struck down. Yeah. Turns out he's creating an astral projection. Yes, it was a bit cool, but it was like Rian Johnson was building us up to just let us down and not give us that satisfaction of boom, the Empire of the rebellion have won one. Yeah. And that was the thing that really griped me. Being built up to be let down, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So this is another thing that got me. It was like, generally, they mutinied, which was absolutely fine. They turned off all the lights in the hangar bay. They weren't going to let the transports go, kind of thing. And you're absolutely right. They could have said, right, well, all these ships are cloaked. Well, where did they all get cloaking devices from? All these ships are cloaked, so they'll stay off their radar. We're going to head for this planet here, and whilst they're chasing the cruiser, they're all going to escape, which is absolutely fine. Not a problem. But why did they not do that originally? They could have dropped out of what? Thought, shit, we've got a load of cloaked ships here. Let's just disappear. They'll never know. But no, they didn't. They just decided to. Well, this is the thing that got me about Poe's mutiny, because he obviously gets demoted down to captain, and Thingy says to him, Lauren Dern says to Leia. Holdo says to Leia, he's like, he's a bit of a wild one, this guy, I really like him. And Leia's like, yes, I like him too. This guy's just committed mutiny. This guy just tried to take over the ship and almost killed every single member of the Resistance here. Why you like, oh yeah, he's such a card, this guy. Oh, he's always mutinying. Oh, I can't stop him from doing a good mutiny.
See, now that's just made me think as well, what they could have done is, they could have still incorporated this kind of undercover mission, but Poe is acting like a hotshot. Yeah. So even after the bombing run or whatever, Poe is like arguing, and Leia's just like, you know what, throw him in the brig. Yeah. So he gets put inside a cell. Yeah. That's where he meets Benicio del Stutter. Yeah. They break out, rope in Finn and Rose. They have their own little mini side mission by themselves, which doesn't involve going to a casino with giant galloping alpacas. They could have incorporated that so well. Now here's an issue as well. There was no consistency in the way that they described this mission, because some people were saying the ships were cloaked. Some people were saying, oh well, the First Order are constantly monitoring our main ship. They won't notice us sneak out. They have this almighty ship with a crew of 1,000 people.
Floor-to-ceiling windows.
Floor-to-ceiling windows. Is no one going to spot this? Is no one going to pick this up on a radar? It's like, oh, there's about 24 tiny little ships. Oh, no, I found no one. Just keep following now. Probably just a bit of rubbish. Probably just a bit of debris. Yeah. And also, as well, when Benicio del Stutter, dupes them in, and he somehow knows that they're launching all these stealth ships. Yeah. He shouldn't know that. No, How the fuck has he discovered that?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because the last time that Poe and Finn spoke, they were like, oh yeah, we're ready to jump to lightspeed. There was no way of any of those people staying in communication, so he shouldn't have known that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh yeah, by the way, if you just look out the window, look at all those ships fucking off to that giant planet.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. The thing is, though, Poe and Finn do actually speak, like, yeah, we're on our way, but at no point does Poe know about this secret plan. So, yeah, exactly, you're right, I shouldn't have it. So let's quickly talk about Captain Phasma. I was watching a thing about this, like, oh, Captain Phasma gets killed off in this, or we presume she gets killed off in this episode. And I was watching a thing about it. It was like, oh, if you read this comic, it goes back into her backstory and why she's like this, and how she helped General Hux rebuild the Empire and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want to read a comic.
Exactly.
Why are you expecting millions of Star Wars fans to read a fucking comic? But her, another wasted character, Gwendolyn Christie. Fantastic actress, but she's so wasted in these movies. Why does she not have a bigger role? Well, why was she there at all?
Yeah,
because make her the villain in the third one, make her the big bad, her and General Hux avenging General Snoke, General Snoke,
Supreme Leader Snoke, yeah.
They could have been like something really good, but again, she's just a wasted character. He another load of like misfiring puns. Come on then, Chrome Dome.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this, an X-Men cartoon?
And the thing is, we don't need Finn to have like a vengeful battle as part of his arc. To be brutally honest, I didn't really give a shit about Finn in this movie. I really couldn't care less. I didn't know what they were going to do with his story.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, at the end, when they were in the skimmers, if he'd have sacrificed himself, I would have cared so much more for him.
Yeah.
If he'd have, basically done like his kamikaze run.
Yeah.
And
See, he did his kamikaze run. He hit the thing. He blows up everything. Yeah. The rebels survive, and then Rey all of a sudden has this sort of, the same way Leia does, has the sort of feelings like, oh my god, Rey, Finn's dead kind of thing. Like when Leia does when Han dies. Rey has the same kind of thing. Yeah, you're right, exactly.
Yeah. So now let's rewind a little bit again, because there's too many bloody arcs to juggle.
Yeah.
And I will say as well, just speaking of comics, I guarantee, give it a couple of weeks, we'll see the first issue of Finn and Rose and their almighty Empire adventures, rebellion adventures. Basically, Rey has left the island, left Luke behind, and what happens then is Luke is about to burn down the giant tree with the ancient text, and then Yoda appears. Yeah. The ghost of Yoda. Now, I have to say, this was actually spoilt for me by somebody.
Oh, really?
I'm not going to name names because I genuinely was quite tempted to hunt them down and just, stab them in the face. But this really upset me, but still, it was a nice moment, and I loved Luke's tone when he was just like, Master Yoda. It's like, oh, for God's sake. And what was beautiful, CGI was a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But
it was a puppet.
It was a puppet. Yeah. With a bit of, it was a bit of CGI there, wasn't it? But it was Empire Strikes Back Yoda. It was,
it was like senile old Yoda. I love that line. It was like, and Luke's like, the ancient text, and Yoda's like, read them, have you? And Luke kind of goes, turns to him, he's like, page turners they are not.
And he whacks him with his stick as well. Yeah. That was quite a nice moment, and it was.
I love that Luke's so old as well, and he still refers to him as young Skywalker.
Yeah,
it was
exactly. Yeah, that's the great thing, and that was a nice moment. And again, it goes back. I go back to what I spoke about the second time I saw Force Awakens when I went with Mum. The look on Mum's face when all this nostalgia came up, I was keeping an eye on her face because I knew what was coming, and she just had this grin on her face. And I think for those degrees, it's kind of worth it in that level. Yeah. So what do you think of this interaction and Yoda again always coming up with this wisdom?
Yeah. No, I really liked that, to be honest with you. I think it was something that was needed. To sort of give Luke some perspective, because obviously Rey wasn't going to be able to do it, and Chewbacca wasn't, so he needed someone. He's still learning in a sense, and he just needed someone to tell him, for God's sake, you know what you're gonna have to do, so let's just get on with it. So
totally, it was a nice moment, and so Rey uses one of the escape pods to get onto the First Order ship.
Yeah, she doesn't need to hack through the fucking
exactly,
shields, does she? We'll have to cut a hole in the shield. Nope, don't have to do that. Just cut straight through. There we go, in.
And then she's on the ship. Kylo takes her to Supreme Leader Snoke. And you know what? The way that Andy Serkis was voicing Supreme Leader Snoke, there was a really weird moment where he goes, I thought that I had found the new Darth Vader. And And he does this bizarre exhale. It's so weird. But he's like, come here, young Rey. Come to me. I'm thinking, I'm sorry, have you been taking acting lessons from Alec Guinness or something? Come here, my friend.
I won't hurt you.
Kylo Ren is easily startled, but he'll be back. And with bigger pets. Adam Driver, he's great. I like Adam Driver, but he's a fucking little bitch.
He's such a lettuce. It's unbelievable.
Emo Ren.
What happens to the Knights of Ren?
Oh, I know, yeah, they weren't mentioned.
They weren't mentioned at all. If you have come a long way since becoming the leader of the Knights of Ren, where are they? Where are the Knights of Ren, for God's sake? They get mentioned once you see them all once in The Force Awakens, and he's not even like a group of Jedi or a group of young Jedi, which explain, he took some. Luke says to Rey, Kylo took some of my students with him after he destroyed the temple, kind of thing. Because it's not even them. You see the temple presumably you see the temple get destroyed.
Yeah.
And Kylo is in his full garb. And there's like Mandalorians behind him and other aliens. He's not just Jedis or whoever, and the Knights of Ren seem to have disappeared.
I did actually like though the flashbacks, the different versions of the flashbacks.
Yeah, that was cool,
with Luke confronting Kylo Ren. I thought that was quite a nice moment, and also as well it harkened back to The Force Awakens where Rey sees the vision of Luke putting his robot hand on top of R2. That kind of went back to that a little bit. So we then get Supreme Leader Snoke saying to Rey, "You're gonna tell me." So he does like the mind reading thing that like Kylo did on her and Poe and such like. And there was quite a nice bit where she tried to force grip the lightsaber and makes it just swing around and crack her in the back of the head. But then what came then was he says to Kylo, strike down. Now you're gonna strike down Rey, and it's kind of like this moment where Supreme Leader Snoke is basically running the scenario through his mind. He's like, he turns the lightsaber, he ignites it and strikes down his true enemy. Yeah. And what he's doing is he's turning the lightsaber on Snoke and he ignites it and kills him. And at this point I was like, oh right, well that's Supreme Leader Snoke done with then. Yeah. He's had about 15 minutes of screen time. Yeah. He's done with. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
Utterly wasted. Again, they should have had him as a hologram again.
Yeah, definitely.
They should have had him as a hologram again. We don't know where he is. He's hidden away somewhere. He's controlling everything from a secret location, which will be revealed in the third one, as is the Emperor's throne room. But no, we get this ridiculous sort of throne room scene where he's sat there in his golden dressing gown, like you said. But yeah, this whole thing where he's like, he's going to strike down his true enemy kind of thing. And you kind of think, well, what was the point in all that? What was the point in all his training and stuff like that? Because Kylo's not going to become any stronger now. He's still a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And there was obviously that very cool fight scene where they're almost like Iron Man, Captain America and Bucky sort of back-to-back sort of fighting kind of thing where they're fighting all the guards, which was very cool, which apparently everybody's now immune to lightsabers. Which, like I say, which was very, very cool, and they managed to clear everyone out. And that part where she throws the lightsaber to him and he catches it like that and he just ignites it through that guy's head, which was very cool.
Yeah.
And the part where Rey actually had Kylo's lightsaber, that was very cool as well. But again, it was just the whole build up towards it was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Oh, Snoke's dead.
And I know, right, yes, again, it seems like a fuck you to all the theories, like, who is Snoke, who is Snoke? And yes, you could argue that in the original trilogy, we don't find out who the Emperor is, but they still, in A New Hope, they just mention the Emperor by name. That's it. In the second one, we get the hologram. In the third one, he's just this cloaked figure. And I think that, I don't know whether it's just the way that we watch movies now. We kind of demand a bit more genealogy in terms of these characters.
This is the thing. This is something me and Samantha brought up yesterday. Is that the fact that actually he refers to him as Darth Sidious. Luke refers to him as Darth Sidious, doesn't he?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he says the Jedi allowed Darth Sidious to take on the Empire. Create the Empire.
Yeah. When you get the Emperor, when you got Darth Sidious, you don't really care for his back, so you don't know his backstory, so you don't really look into it. All you know is that he's a Dark Lord of the Sith, and that he's been training Darth Vader, and he's always been there. That's the kind of thing. Even if we hadn't had the prequels, I probably wouldn't have questioned
it.
Yeah. But then you kind of look at Supreme Leader Snoke and you go, well, he's clearly older than Luke. So he's been around since before. He's clearly older than Luke. So he's been around before Luke was born. So he's around whilst the Emperor was there. So where has he come from? All of a sudden, you know, where has this guy come from, or where is he been? Because Yoda always makes the comment of that always two there are, a master and an apprentice.
Yeah.
So where has Supreme Leader Snoke come from?
Yeah. That's exactly it, and there's how can I word this? It's like I was saying, you know, we yearn for more of a backstory, I think, nowadays with movies. And again, much like the thing with the Rey's parents, it kind of felt like a fuck you sort of moment. But I was watching a few theory videos about, you know, what the story could go next. And apparently, it's not canon, but there's apparently one of the graphic novels with Star Wars is this story where you find out that the Emperor was the reason why he looked so fucked up. Not because Mace Windu deflected Force Lightning or whatever.
And ended up looking like a scrotum.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. There's this idea that the dark side of the Force is almost like an entity. There are entities within the dark, and almost like Anubis in Stargate Atlantis, Stargate SG-1, sorry. This entity can possess a body, but what happens is because it's so powerful, it ends up decaying the body, and then he has to go to a new one. Now, this would be an awesome idea if Snoke was actually the dark side personified in this entity, because his face is fucked up, isn't it? You know what I mean? And what if, when he was struck down, like the dark side, I know, went into Rey, or it went into Kylo almost as well. That's kind of, you know, an interesting thing they could have sort of played with. But I just felt really short-changed in the sense that they built him up to be a huge big bad, and he was just like this weaselly little guy in a dressing gown. I never felt like he was of great power or anything like that. Now, one thing I really was hoping for, obviously he got chopped in half, but I wanted, at the end, Kylo to grab his cloak thing, which now would have been in chopped in half, and just put it on as like a jacket, you know, it's like a short jacket. He would have styled that out so well. That would have been rad.
The thing that got me about it was that no one was scared of him. No one was terrified of him. Like, when you first meet Darth Vader, that guy first meets Darth Vader, I can't remember his name, and he's like, I'm here to put you back on schedule. That guy is absolutely terrified of Darth Vader, and even more scared of the Emperor. No one's scared of Supreme Leader Snoke. They're just like, oh, you're right, potato. There you go, all right. See you at the bar later, my man. All right, cool, nice dressing gown. No one's asked about him. Even Kylo, who's like kneeling before him, is just a bit like, right, okay. Yeah, and General Hux is like, hey, me and you, BFFs, man, let's go. And you know, and that's it. No one's scared of him, so he has no presence.
Yeah, it was, and in a 2.5 hour movie, the villain, we got more screen time with fucking racing alien horses and Finn and Rose and Benicio del Stutter, who was so pointless than we did the main villain, who was killed off anyway. So there's not even any potential for him to revive his role in the next film. Yeah, I would have genuinely preferred like some sort of battle where Kylo and Rey take on Snoke possibly, and then Kylo and Rey like escape to be never seen again, and you don't know what's going to happen to them in the third film. That would have been more thrilling to me, and would have left me more excited about future stories. So basically, now we're on to the part where the ships have...
Oh, I forgot about this bit.
So now we get another sequence as well.
We get another ending.
We get another ending, where... Oh, no, let's go back to actually possibly the greatest visual moment in this movie.
Oh, okay.
Basically, Admiral Holdo, she says, you know, someone has to stay behind. Now, I thought this was going to be Leia. Aha, that's how they kill her off. Ta-da! She's going to die in a heroic moment, you know, when everybody will remember her so fondly. So Holdo stays on the original ship.
Oh, someone's got to stay behind to pilot it. It's been going in a straight line for 18 hours. Who the fuck's piloting it?
Exactly.
It's been going in a straight line. And then she says, oh, I've got to stay behind and pilot it. And then stands there at the window. You're not even sat down controlling anything, you know.
It would have been absolutely pointless. So what she does is she turns the ship around and basically goes into light speed into all the ships. And to be fair, this was
very cool.
It just no sound, and there's just these beams of light, and these ships just crack in half.
That was very cool.
Beautiful.
That was very
visually. I'd imagine if I saw that in 3D, it would be spellbinding.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And that was a great moment. We also had the moment where Kylo and Rey are fighting for Luke's lightsaber.
Oh, it gets ripped in half.
And it gets ripped in half. Again, metaphors for the Jedi, you know, ending, Luke's saga ending, all that kind of spiel.
Yeah, yeah. So then we arrive, what's the planet called? Crate.
Yeah,
isn't it? Arrive. That really, there was another part on that really confused me where all the rebels are outside preparing for the attack of the AT-ATs. And all of a sudden, there seems to be like, all these ships get blown up, but then there's like hundreds of soldiers all outside. All appear from nowhere. Anyway, so that soldier leans forward, rubs his hand through the dirt and touches it to his tongue and goes, salt.
What
was that? Now I was thinking, maybe they're going to use, maybe the salt is like flammable or something. They're going to shoot the ground and it's going to blow up the First Order ships or whatever. And I'm just like... Salt.
All of a sudden, like, you see him with, like, a bowl of chips and he's, like, sprinkling something on top.
We're just like, oh my god.
Pointless dialogue,
Pointless dialogue. Anyway, so they're on there. They've got to defend the base with this huge fucking great big door. Oh, it's so armoured, they'll never get through. Oh, look, they've got a battering ram cannon that's all of a sudden they've brought with them. They just happen to have... It's like... it's just like massive coincidence. Oh, we've got a battering ram cannon. Better bring that with us.
I know, yeah.
You get the battering ram cannon, and then the rebels they launch all these skidder, floating speeder things, which look as rickety as out. Look like they're gonna. What are they gonna do?
Literally nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's 13 of them all flying, and they're all going shaking to bits. There's quite a bit of funny bit where Poe puts his foot through the floor of one of them. They're clearly not going to do anything, and then Chewie and Rey turn up to save the day. But that again never explained how Rey manages to get off the ship onto the Falcon, because the Falcon would have had to land on this disabled ship and then take off again. But, you know, managed to get through the shields, didn't they?
Yeah.
God knows.
And the shadow of the Falcon, though. And Kylo's just like, blow that piece of junk out of the sky!
Yeah.
Like, that was a really cool moment, actually. Yeah. Going back to the ship as well, Rose and Finn haven't escaped yet.
Oh yeah,
BB-8 manages to rig himself into a walker.
Yeah.
Now, here's an interesting idea. Do you know the concept of Deus Ex Machina in movies? Typical example, the Eagles in Lord of the Rings, that thing that just conveniently saves the day. BB-8 is becoming the Deus Ex Machina. Deus Ex BB-8 in this film, for example, because he just seems to always save the day.
Yeah.
It turns out BB-8 can control the walker, but can't open a door.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So yeah, they've been rescued. They're back on the planet. Because they come flying through the door, don't they? In the Imperial, which magically disappears if you notice.
Oh yeah, that buggers off, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it crashes through the door. It's sat behind the door, and then all of a sudden that goes away. So they drag that out of the way. So they escape. Poe's like, "Oh my god, you're alive! Where's my droid?" Oh my, all right, Jesus Christ! And then he starts making out with BB-8, which is kind of weird.
I know, kind of like scratching his belly and stuff like that. Starts motorboating his circuits. Yeah, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
Oh my god, yeah. So.
And again, there was weird humour as well, where Finn and Rose look at each other with this side stuff like, who else but BB-8?
Yeah.
Womp, womp, womp. He's round, he's a droid, he always saves the day, BB-8. There's going to be a sitcom, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be a sitcom, where he just comes through the room, and the audience laughing. So they're going to go attack this cannon thing, which they clearly got no chance against. Poe realises that he shouldn't mutiny and he shouldn't just blow stuff up. He's like, pull up, draw off the attack. So they draw off the attack, except for Finn. And then, like you say, Rose runs into the side of him to save his life.
Which could have killed him as well.
Which probably could have killed him anyway, yeah. Almost kills her. I thought she was dead.
Yeah.
Until he dragged her back inside. They're all sat there going, you know, all hope is lost. We have nothing. He said all hope is lost, and then we see the shadow of the cloaked Luke Skywalker walk through the door, and I was like, he's here! He was on board the Millennium Falcon the entire time. And he talks to Leia, and he gives her the golden dice from the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, which was very cool. And then he struts out. Everyone can see him, including C-3PO.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been able to see them. He's a robot. He struts out and takes on Kylo Ren. Now, this was one of the best parts in this movie, where they're firing everything at Luke, and he's obviously just nothing happens to him, and all the dust clears. But before you see him, General Hux turns to Kylo and goes, "Do you think you got it?" So funny. And then we get this, I say great battle scene. We get this sort of like mediocre battle scene between Luke and Kylo, and you find out that Luke has been force projecting himself the entire time. He's basically just been wasting time for the rebels to escape out of the back of the cave onto the Millennium Falcon. And I did actually like the very end part where Luke was like levitating on top of because we've seen him do that before when he rebuilds his green lightsaber.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's actually sat there levitating, and he's levitating there, and he rebuilds the lightsaber. But obviously in this place, he's levitating on top of the rock. But the energy, it uses that much energy that he does actually die. And the very last thing he sees is the two sons, yeah. And it plays his music. Beautiful moment. And he disappears, and he's like Obi-Wan does and like Yoda does. His cloak disappears off and stuff like that. And presumably we can expect to see him back in the next one as a Force ghost.
I would be very, very surprised if we didn't.
Because they've killed all the main characters off now. They've killed Han. They've killed Leia. Oh, well, they haven't killed her, but Carrie Fisher sadly passed away. So she's not going to be coming back, obviously, unless they use maybe like footage left over from other films to put her in there or whatever.
Well, just backtracking a bit, I want to just say real quick that, first of all, the bit where Luke came out, hairs stood up on my neck, on every inch of my body. Like, it was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
And to a degree, I did think that the Millennium Falcon, we were going to see the shadow of the Millennium Falcon and then the shadow of an X-Wing. Yeah. And Luke was going to be in his X-Wing, like, shooting the shit out of everybody. That would have been so good.
Yeah.
But when he comes out, I thought, oh my God, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for in the last 2.5 hours. All the build up to literally get no payoff. This is going to be it. Kylo, Luke Skywalker, lightsaber battle. It's going to be stunning. Luke moves out the way and then leans back a bit.
Does his Matrix bit,
and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, come on. There's got to be. And I appreciate that Luke is he's just being defensive. You know, he's not actually actually attacking him. But then, and when he went through him, I thought it was going to be like an Obi-Wan Kenobi moment, you know, and then, of course, you know...
See, visually, I love that. When he went through him, and you saw Kylo's foot skid on the snow, and then all that red, like, flicked up, and then the red flicked up before you saw his foot. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. It looks like blood.
Yeah,
and obviously he was still stood there. And he obviously just puts his lightsaber through his shoulder, and you realise he's not actually there.
Exactly, yeah.
Which was really cool. I did like that bit.
So it's just one thing I just want to mention as well. This was a bit of an inconsistency as well. So I'm being such a nitpicking shit at the moment, but I can't help it. They suddenly say, like, how we meant to get out of C-3PO, who was annoying as hell in this movie. Perhaps there is an unmapped way out. And they're like, well, he must have come from somewhere. Yeah. And then they go scurrying off following the crystal dog things. Yeah. Well, no, he's fucking projecting himself. Yeah. So he doesn't project himself and then work his way through a maze of areas. He makes himself appear and then walks fucking through.
Yeah.
So that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then we get
Well, there was a bit where Poe is just like he gets to the little entrance way through the rocks. He's like, no, this can't be the end, kind of thing. You've all got guns, just shoot it.
Yeah,
just fucking shoot it, seriously.
But Rey uses the Force. It's the joke referring to the Force is not about lifting rocks.
Yeah. First ever time we see a proper kyber crystal as well inside a lightsaber, which is very cool.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
Rey says to Leia, well, Luke's gone, what do we do now? And she but you only see the two pieces of the lightsaber, and she says, we have everything we need right here. And is she referring to the lightsaber? Is she referring to Rey? What's she referring to? Is she referring to the band of rebels that are now on the Millennium Falcon? I don't really know.
Yeah. It's like, we have everything we need here, but didn't about 1,000 people die? We have everything we need right here.
Yeah.
It's all about family. It's all about family. I gotta take her, my sister Leia. That's it. I wanted John Diggle to be on that island. Fucking hell.
Oh my god. So, you know what? It had its ups, but there were way too many downs for me in this movie. I'm not going to rush out and see this film again. Definitely not see it at the cinema. I will buy it on DVD just so I've got it in my collection. But chances of me watching this film again are very slim to none. If I decide to watch this trilogy, 7, 8 and 9, I'll probably watch 7, read what happens in episode 8, go, oh yeah, I remember that, and then watch episode 9, because it was so disappointing. And now, the more I'm talking about it now, the more I'm finding flaws with it. And I can't understand where all these, this is a triumph of cinema.
Yeah.
Who's watching these movies? Seriously?
Yeah, it's like on Rotten Tomatoes, the critics score is about 96%.
Yeah.
But the viewers is about 55 or something like that. Yeah,
it's really low, isn't it?
I just find it such a disappointment. Yeah. And my prediction for the next movie is going to be maybe 5 years, maybe even 10 years in the future. The rebellion's been built up again. Yeah. They can include the fact that Carrie Fisher won't be there because, of course, they can say in the story that she passed away due to old age, whatever. Yeah. And maybe she'll become a Force ghost, who knows. And, Kylo Ren will be still frustrated. But I think what would be really interesting is, and I keep thinking about this giant scar that Kylo Ren's got on his face. What if this scar starts to really decay and he starts to look more and more like Snoke? Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. There's a weird kind of concept like that. One thing I will say, I don't think Daisy Ridley is a good actress.
She's not really.
I think some of her lines are so forced. I really don't think she's very good at all. I think my standout performer for this movie was probably Oscar Isaacs as Poe Dameron, and they were originally going to kill him off in the first movie, weren't they?
They were. Yeah.
Who? Would you say that Donald Gleeson is your standout performer?
Yeah, definitely, yeah, absolutely. I think he's absolutely brilliant in this. He's so good.
See, I think what would have been really great to lead you into thinking that, to give you more excitement for the next movie, Kylo Ren and Rey disappear off together. Yeah. What's going to happen with them two? Are they going to become goodies? Are they baddies? What are they doing? Poe disappears off on his own as well. Yeah. Because he already, yes, albeit he learned this lesson that, attacking isn't always the best way, the best strategy. But there's still this kind of fire inside of him that wants to just be, let's just bomb the shit out of everything. Almost like, I can't remember his name, but the guy in Rogue One, the French guy.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
You know the one. So, almost like in the next movie, he's created his own, almost like, how Forrest Whitaker was.
Yeah.
Sol Guerrero! Leon! Like his kind of offshoot of the rebellion, if you will, where it's just like, we just go in there and bomb the shit out of everything. We don't think about strategy. We don't think about the peaceful option or for saving people. Yeah. That would have been interesting as well. So there's all these offshoots of things that lead you interested in the next film. As far as I was going to say Return of the Jedi then, as far as the 9th film's concerned, I'm genuinely struggling to think, apart from the concept of Rey and Kylo squaring off, which is going to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't have that much excitement for it because Rey is already quite clearly a competent Jedi. She's had about 15 minutes of training. But somehow she's, incredibly powerful. When we got Empire, we saw Luke practically get his ass kicked by Darth Vader in the lightsaber battle. So then, of course, when he comes back as the Jedi Knight with the green lightsaber, the battle is with him and Darth Vader is all the mighty, because now it's almost like they equal in power sort of thing. And Yeah, now if they have another lightsaber battle, it'll be just like, all right, whatever. Yeah. I don't really care too much.
Yeah.
So, like, are there any predictions you want to throw out for the next movie?
Not really, no. To be honest, I don't know where they're going to go with it. Obviously, we'll have to have a big space battle.
Sure.
We'll have to have a lightsaber battle. That's pretty much that's all I can say about it, really. I think the main characters are all going to survive. Poe, Finn, Rey, they're all obviously going to survive. Whether there'll be a bit more love interest between Rose and Finn.
I'd imagine there will be, yeah.
Chewbacca will maybe sacrifice himself, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe we'll see the Millennium Falcon get blown up or something like that. I don't know. I read a thing the other day. It was like, oh, the next Star Wars film has been tentatively called Star Wars 9.
Oh, brilliant!
And I'm like, well, no, it's not tentatively called that. It is that. That's what it is. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I will admit that, yes, I saw this twice in the cinema. The second time I saw it, I did enjoy it more, but because I knew the bits that were coming that were going to bore me, like the casino scene, for example, like the mutiny kind of thing, because I knew those beats were coming, I could already feel myself getting bored before it even happened. Yeah. So it was a little bit better, but certainly nothing staggering. No. Such a huge disappointment for me, this film.
But well, there you go.
There we go. That's how it rolls sometimes. Yeah. Do you want to slap a rating on this one, Sam?
2, 3.
Really? Yeah. I was gonna go with a 4, but I think I'm gonna go with 3 out of 10 on this one. Yeah. I was holding off doing my video or my recording or whatever of my top 10 movies of the year because in my mind, it was like Star Wars is gonna be number 1. Yeah. There's no shadow of a doubt. There's no way it can't be number 1. It might not even make it in my top 10 now, you know. No. I was going to say it might not make it in my top 5, but I've seen so many great movies this year, which
I've only seen 8 and it's still not in there.
Yeah. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway, so...
Damn, this was a...
Yeah.
I'll tell you know what, our advice to the listeners, go and watch the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Go and watch A New Hope and just... enjoy a bit of
drink it in,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, go and watch Force Awakens again.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck me. So, Sam, anything you want to finish off by saying?
No, there isn't actually, but this is probably going to be the last one we're going to do before Christmas.
Absolutely.
So I will say to all the power people, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hope you get everything you ask for, and I hope you have a lovely Christmas. Get to spend it with your loved ones.
Absolutely, I shall share the exact same sentiment. Merry Christmas to all the power people. Thanks to everybody, as always, this year for your continued support, your listenership, just the tweets, into the social media interaction, the Twitter, the Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of good stuff. We've made so many amazing friends through podcasting, and it's been another, yes, albeit we've been a little bit inconsistent, shall we say, with episode releases, but as you can imagine with baby Open All Powers, the official baby of Open All Powers, on sort of coming along the way.
We're really gonna have to bulk up on our episodes in like January and February because Samantha's due in March. So we're gonna have some back episodes to release because I'm not gonna be able to do anything for like months. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, All Seeing Guys have just released a new episode, which is their first actual recording since Greg had his baby. So it's been a great year. I think for me, I think for movies, for TV, there's been so many cool things these year. I can't wait for the new year to do some sort of wrap up and just discuss all the amazing things and all the great things we've got coming in 2018 as well.
We need to talk about the mid-season finales of all like the CW
shows.
Well.
Absolutely, we might even rope in the Wolf of Kingston for that one. Big up to Jack the Wolf of Kingston for featuring on maybe 4 or 5 episodes now, filling in when Sam can't make it. Who else have we had on this year? I'm sure we've had Montego and Tiff. We've had Brandon from Cult 45. Was it this year that we did our big nerd podcast Mafia extravaganza? It was, wasn't it?
It was this year. It was early
this year. God, it seems like such a lifetime ago.
It does.
But as always, check us out on Twitter at Open Up Powers, Facebook, facebook.com/Open Up Powers Podcast, Instagram, open_all_powers_podcast. Check us out on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Satchel, and of course SoundCloud.
Head over to Redbubble for your merch.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what better Christmas present to offer than some Open All Powers merch?
Exactly. Yeah. I know what I want to find in my stocking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I've got Chloe a prosthetic leg.
Oh, nice.
Just as a stocking filler.
Yeah. Yes.
And we shall finish off by with a 1, 2, 3. Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye and listen to Open Hours. Listen to the podcast. Toodaloo, motherfuckers! Happy Christmas and Happy New Year.
Let's hope the fat man empties his sack all over your living room.